Imagine waking up one day to the news that changes the world as we know it. A new pandemic, even more mysterious and unpredictable than COVID-19. That's not science fiction, it's a very real possibility. Stick around to learn about the ever-changing landscape of COVID variants and the enigmatic concept of Disease X. COVID-19 always changes its face, and new variants are popping up, sparking a mix of curiosity, concern, and let's face it, fear. But have you ever heard of Disease X? Today, we're diving deep into these fascinating yet alarming topics, so buckle up, it's going to be a thought-provoking ride. So what exactly is a variant? A variant is a version of the virus with mutations, changes in its genetic code, that could make it more contagious, more resistant to vaccines, or both. Variants are inevitable, but they can significantly alter how we fight a pandemic. Meet BA 2.86, or Parola, a London native COVID variant who's making a global tour with stops in Israel, Denmark, and even the US. Now, before you hit the panic button, let's break it down. This mysterious new variant is still in the getting to know you stage. We're talking a handful of sequences, so it's like a teaser trailer right now. But what's got scientists leaning in? This variant seems to be growing, well, like a trending hashtag. Health officials are continuously testing, and a decent amount of the population is COVID positive. Here's where it gets intriguing. The genetic sequences are pretty much like identical twins across countries. That's code for this thing might be spreading fast. But don't go rewriting your 2023 Apocalypse Handbook just yet. The FDA says, hold up, we still don't know if BA 2.86 is the next big blockbuster or just a one-hit wonder. We're not sure yet how this bad boy stacks up against other variants when it comes to dodging vaccines or how severe it is. Professor John Edmonds, a bigwig from the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, just dropped some fresh intel on BA 2.86, the new and mysterious COVID variant we've all got our eyes on. So what's the deal, you ask? Well, BA 2.86 is like a super sneaky ninja. It's got several changes that could let it dodge our immune responses like Neo from The Matrix. It sounds like blockbuster material, but hold your horses. According to Professor Edmonds, this new star is still in the indie film stage, meaning it's not really developed and hasn't hit the mainstream just yet. Doctors emphasize the fact that the number of COVID-related hospital admissions and beds occupied by patients has gradually increased. The hospital admission rate for COVID-19 climbed to 1.97 per 100,000 in the week ending July 30th, 2023, a decent increase from 1.47 per 100,000 the week before. But overall, the numbers are still low when compared to the pandemic's acute phase in 2020 to 2021. Scientists note that present levels are still relatively low compared to case numbers last year, but they also predict that social mixing will intensify and case numbers will climb as we approach the colder months. Scientists predicted that after some years, COVID would turn into a seasonal illness or flu, but after coming back with its new variant, that prediction doesn't stand anymore. Professor Adam Finn, a renowned professor of pediatrics at Bristol University, said, experts thought that COVID-19 would end up being a seasonal illness like the flu, but clearly this has not happened yet. The virus is still spreading quickly, and new waves are emerging all year long. Another COVID variant is lurking around the corner. We're diving into another COVID update, this time about a variant named EG.5, unofficially called Eris. Before you start imagining another science fiction horror show, let's clear the air. First off, like any COVID strain, the game plan for those who are elderly or who have pre-existing health conditions is the same. You must take caution. But what about long-term infections? Here's a bit of hopeful news. EG.5 isn't the big bad wolf we were worried it might be. Dr. Andrew Picos, a world-renowned professor of molecular microbiology and immunology at Johns Hopkins, has not sounded the alarm just yet. According to him, EG.5 is kind of like the reruns of old shows, not bringing anything dramatically new to the table compared to what we've seen in the last few months in the US. And guess who else is not giving it the not-so-scary badge? The World Health Organization. They've given this variant a low-risk rating on the global scarometer. So, remember that not-so-scary EG.5 variant we chatted about? Well, plot twist, it's got an origin story that just might bump it up to the pay attention to me list. This variant made its debut in China in February of 2023 and crossed the pond to the US in April. And guess what's even more fascinating? It's an offspring of that notorious Omicron variant. The genetic feature is XBB.1.9.2. Here's where it gets kind of like a superhero movie. EG.5 has a special power that sets it apart from other variants. One single mutation that helps it dodge our immune system's bullets, even if you've been vaccinated or previously infected. Dr. Picos, as mentioned earlier, is saying this little twist might be why EG.5 is climbing the charts globally. And, spoiler alert, it might also be the reason we're seeing COVID cases tick up again. So what's the big deal? Well, thanks to its sneak past the immune system trick, more of us might be vulnerable to this particular remix of COVID-19. If you've made it this far, you're obviously in the loop and ready to take on whatever comes next. So here's the deal. Smash that like button if you find this update helpful, and let's spread facts, not fear. And yeah, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and let's keep this conversation going. Now, let's change gears to another alarming aspect of our world, the unknown enemy of humankind. Ever heard of the Spanish flu? This OG pandemic rocked the world a century ago, wiping out an insane 50 million people. But guess what? Even though we got some ridiculous tech and science now, we're still playing a high-stakes game of hide-and-seek with something experts call Disease X. So, what's the 411 on Disease X? Imagine, it's like a plot twist in a thriller movie, a mysterious villain that could jump out at any moment and turn into the next global blockbuster of pandemics. Yeah, it's that serious. This is like when the World Health Organization said, "Watch out, folks, this is priority numero uno," back in 2018. Remember when COVID-19 turned our lives into a never-ending Zoom marathon? Well, that was actually Disease X crashing the party way ahead of its time. Think of it as the surprise movie trailer we all got without ever buying a ticket. Richard Hatchett, the head honcho at the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, the CEPI, says we've got to be ready for Disease X like we're preparing for the next big Marvel crossover event. It's right up there with the heavy hitters like Ebola, Zika, and the mighty COVID-19. Yeah, you heard that right. Disease X is chilling on the WHO's VIP list right next to superstars like Ebola, Zika, and our current chart topper, COVID-19. They're the ones making the researchers burn the midnight oil because when Disease X makes its debut, it might be a total mic drop moment that catches us all off guard. Now here's where the plot thickens. Some experts are saying, hey, Zika could be Disease X. Others are like, nah, COVID-19 already stole that title. But what if COVID and the others are just the opening acts for a headliner so big, it'll blow our minds? Yeah, that's the real Disease X everyone's talking about. Look, if COVID taught us anything, it's that diseases are like those pesky pop-up ads. They can show up anytime, anywhere, and no one's off limits. Yep, viruses basically have a VIP pass to go global. So what's the game plan? Simple. We've got to be ready to hit that mute button on Disease X 2.0 and fast. That means keeping our eyes peeled and our action plan on speed dial. If we started planning like the world's greatest party, except this one's for preventing doom, we can totally put the brakes on Disease X and minimize the chaos. What do experts have to say? They need to be in the driver's seat and forget about any political roadblocks. And we should not slack off on things like airport screenings and travel restrictions. That's our first line of defense, folks. You know how they say, teamwork makes the dream work? Well, there's this super holistic game plan called the One Health Strategy that's aiming to do just that for Disease X. We're talking about filling in the gaps between different organizations, ranking which baddie bugs and hotspots we should keep an eye on, and spotlight the things that could tip off the next health-pocalypse. I mean, let's get real. COVID-19 isn't just the first rodeo, and it's not going to be the last. So we've got to swap our wait-and-see mentality for a prep-and-act mentality, and it should have been yesterday. In short, we've got to prepare for the next global health curveball as if it were dropping tomorrow. Cause who knows, it just might be. Alright folks, we've been down the rabbit hole of new COVID variants and the enigma that is Disease X. So if you enjoyed this ride, or let's be honest, even if you're just plain freaked out and want to stay ahead of the game, smash that like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss an update from us.